Well, all of these devices connect through HDMI, but each one works differently. So today we're going to look at how the OREI UHD 404 HDMI Matrix, the UHDS1 08 HDMI Splitter, and the UHD 401 MV HDMI Switch with multi-viewer and audio extract function, and where each makes the most sense. Instead of just listing specs, we'll compare them the way you'd actually use them. So let's get into it. Here's where the confusion usually starts. You see these small HDMI boxes lined up, each with a few ports, and at first glance they all look the same. But the moment you start plugging them in, you realise they behave very differently. A splitter sends one source to multiple screens. A switch lets you choose between several sources for one display. And a matrix does both, routing any input to any output whenever you want. That might sound straightforward, but once you step into real setups, mixing resolutions, refresh rates, and cable lengths, those differences suddenly matter. What looks fine on paper can start acting up if the signal handshake isn't managed properly. A splitter might drop one screen if communication slips, and a switch can pause for a second when two devices wake at the same time. That's why stability becomes the real test, not just the promise of 4K at 60Hz or HDR support. OREI focuses on that side of performance. Their matrix, splitter, and switch handle HDCP and EDID communication smoothly, keeping both picture and sound steady even under mixed loads. So with OREI, we'll see which option fits your setup style. Starting with the simplest scenario, you've got one source and several displays. Maybe a console you want on the TV and projector at the same time, or a media player feeding multiple monitors. That's exactly what the OREI UHDS 108 HDMI Splitter does. It takes a single HDMI input and distributes it to 8 outputs, holding steady at 4K at 60Hz with 18 gigabits per second bandwidth. We ran our laptop through a monitor and a TV simultaneously, and both stayed perfectly in sync. Different resolutions didn't cause any trouble either, because EDID management evened them out nicely, keeping playback smooth and stable. The picture remained sharp, and audio stayed pure through Dolby True HD and DTS-HD master audio. It doesn't extend the screen, but it's perfect for mirroring content on multiple TVs, projectors, or monitors. It's really a set-it-and-forget-it tool that simply mirrors your feed wherever you need it. Now flip the situation. Suppose you have a PlayStation and a streaming stick, but only one HDMI port left on your display. Constantly unplugging cables isn't fun, which is why the OREI UHD 401 MV 4x1 HDMI Switch with multi-viewer exists. It gives you 4 inputs and 1 output, allowing you to swap sources instantly. We used it with a PlayStation, a media box, and a PC, and switching was smooth and nearly instant. It supports 4K at 60Hz with 444 chroma, HDR, Dolby Vision, and advanced audio formats like LPCM, AC3, DTS, and DTS-HD up to 7.1 channels. Audio can even be extracted via analog or optical outputs, so you can integrate with soundbars or receivers. With the included IR remote, EDID management, and multiple display modes for multi-view layouts, it simplifies multi-device living without hurting quality. But what if your setup goes beyond that, say 4 sources and 4 displays, and you want to control them independently? That's where the OREI UHD 404 4x4 HDMI Matrix takes over. You can send any source to any display, or even the same source to all displays simultaneously. Smart downscaling automatically adjusts the signal for each screen, so a 4K monitor and 1080p display can run together flawlessly. It also supports HDR10, HDR10+, and Dolby Vision, along with multi-channel audio like LPCM 7.1, Dolby True HD, and DTS-HD master audio. Advanced EDID management ensures the best video and audio settings are negotiated automatically. Think of the Matrix as a command center, perfect for home theaters, control rooms, studios, or meeting rooms where you want total control without tangled cables. When you look at all three in real use, you start to see their personalities. The Splitter quietly does its job, always on and stable. The Switch focuses on everyday convenience, keeping your desk clean and controls simple. And the Matrix is the brain of the operation, handling every signal path with confidence. We pushed 4K HDR content through each of them, and none showed stutter or lag. The Matrix kept HDR tone, mapping consistent. The Switch reacted the fastest between live sources, and the Splitter stayed steady over long cable runs. It's not about which one is better, it's about which one fits your style of use. All three OREI units use solid metal enclosures that stay cool and sturdy. The ports fit tight, maintaining a clean handshake, and each model follows HDMI 2.0B with HDCP 2.2, so you won't see black screens from protected content. Both the Matrix and Splitter include EDID management for manual resolution control, and the Switch and Matrix come with IR remotes for quick operation. They're engineered for daily use, not just impressive spec sheets. So let's wrap it up. If you've got one source and several screens and want to mirror your screen, go for the Splitter. If you've got several sources and one display, the Switch fits best. And if you've got both, multiple devices, and multiple displays, the Matrix gives you complete control. They may look similar, but each solves a different problem. Once you match that to your setup, everything just works smoother. OREI's lineup covers every angle with stable performance and future-proof HDMI support. Hopefully this clears up the HDMI confusion. A Splitter shares, a Switch selects, and a Matrix manages. 3 devices, 3 purposes, 1 simple goal: to make your setup work smarter. And with OREI's build and stability, you can focus on your content instead of your connections. Thanks for watching. If you found it helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more tech news and reviews.